Hello. Absolutely. So I have Ricky and Kat. Hello. And I'll be right back as well. All right, all right, all right. Hello, my friends.
Everything's gonna be okay. Okay.
Hmm?
I said everything's gonna be good for us.
Yeah. All right, Ricky. What is your question? All right. Why did Jay ignore your text message? Let's take a look. He texted me saying what did I wanted and told him. Then he ignored me. He's an Aries and you're a Pisces. So, um, just some context here. Um, so you called him first. Um, was this all today? Um, like how long have you waited since you responded to his question? Okay, and how long has it been? And what makes you believe that he's ignoring you? Absolutely, Emily. I got you. Okay, so it's been practically the entire day. Let's see here. Let's see here. I think right now he's just looking for just some peace at the moment. I'm seeing here that, excuse me, he might be going through a few things right now. Um, I think it's not primarily you. It's just like a bulk of different things that I'm actually getting here. Um, he's feeling a little challenged in terms of what he wants to do, what he's kind of going through. He is sort of kind of like letting things go for now, like sort of like, I'm kind of done for the day. I'm just going to do my own thing, kind of thing. I wouldn't take it too personally what he's doing right now. Um, I mean, though the information you probably talked to him about was, probably very important or something that you just kind of really want to deeply share. Um, Hippie, hey. Um, But right now, I'm just seeing that he really just doesn't want to talk. We even have the Ace of Swords here, which tells me that it's not just you. I think he's just kind of like doing a little bit of social distancing, not just because of COVID, but, just in general. Like he's trying to get his graspings. Um, and I think it's because he's not really doing a whole lot. I think he's feeling kind of restricted, and he just doesn't want to like deal with people right now. Like he doesn't want to deal with issues or trying to figure out things. Like he just kind of wants to like, you know, I think right now he's just sort of, just kind of dealing with himself right now. That's kind of what I'm seeing here, because really right now he just wants some peace. Um, I think he's kind of paying attention to what's going on in the world. That's kind of getting to him too. So he's just kind of like done with people talking about things. Um, he could have just said no instead of ghosting my question. I had nothing to do with it. It had nothing to do with emotions. Yeah, and I don't think so either. Like I just right now, it's not like I said. Like with what is going on right here, I think he's just kind of like just kind of distancing himself right now, and um, and I think it's just a kind of a mix of things too. Like I don't think that what you two were talking about was really like severe or something like that. Like you just wanted to talk to him about it was nothing bad, it was nothing good, just kind of like gray area kind of vanilla kind of thing, sort of talk. You just kind of want to get something out of the way just to kind of get some clarification, but he's just like right now he's just trying to, yeah, see, I'm getting all these reversals right now. I think right now he's just kind of like on a mental lockdown for a little bit. He just kind of wants to distance himself a little bit. I wouldn't take it too personally right now. Just give him a little time. um let me see here. He is going to come around and answer your question, I think, because it's something that he's lingering on anyway. He's still thinking about it. He just doesn't really want to talk right now. Yeah, see, look at all these reversals. I'm getting all these reversals right now. It's just with him right now. Just give him some space. That's really what I'm getting right now. Um, um, he's not even engaging like any friends or trying to figure out what to do. He's just really on his own right now. So um, let's see here. Can you tell me? Let's see here. Should I move on from him because I'm tired of not getting the same energy I put out? Yeah, I was actually just about to ask that question. Like, if you should just kind of like do your own thing. And you know what? Let me just pull out another deck here to ask that question. Sort of yes and no, so to speak. Got 13, no, actually 11, 10, and 9. So, um, usually when I do my yes and no's, I go with odds are no, even is yes. And right now I have two odds and one even. So, um, maybe no. Maybe I think right here, especially with what's saying right here, which is actually really interesting, because like I said, it the things that you wanted to talk to him about, I mean, like I said, it's not like a huge issue or something. It's just like something of you, like, getting some business done kind of thing, I suppose. Um, and it's funny that it's all swords because exactly what you guys are talking about. And it looks like it right here that you really need to kind of like just wait it out for a little bit, get the question answered, or try to get this business taken care of because I think it's going to bother you for quite some time, and therefore it's going to cause you to maybe even to maybe even uh, like lose track, like lose focus on certain things because it's just going to kind of annoy you. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. I'm getting like, like a sense of annoyance here because it's almost like as if he's not following through, he's not living up to his potential of some sort. And that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting from you a little bit. Like it's not. I mean, like, and I'm picking some words here. It may not be like 1-1 here when I talk about like he's not living up to potential, but it's around that area of where he's not like. It's almost as if that saying like, "Oh, I'll totally deliver this tomorrow," but it's actually been 3 days later, kind of thing. So maybe like delays, perhaps. Maybe he's like delaying on something, or you feel like that he's delaying something in terms in order for you to both of you to move on to the next phase of whatever you want to do. And see, we already have the two of swords here, which I'm picking all these from the middle of the deck, by the way, just letting you know. And it just seems to me that he is, um, at least between the two of you, you still have some unfinished business. Um, you can move on. Just try to get this business solved first before you actually start moving on. I'm gonna just leave the question alone because it is too late now. I was just curious why he ghosted my question, but should I be completely done with him? Well, it looks like that you do have some business to take care of, to which you do need to finish up here. Um, Probably not in terms of relation. I think it's just in terms of like how are you know, like just kind of tying up some loose ends is what I actually feel here that you need to do with him. Because if you don't, you're going to have some major issues with your energies, and these energies are going to then manifest into you not being able to complete projects. Your patience is going to be very low and stuff like that, and you don't want that with yourself. So what I suggest you do, and we pull your chakra affirmation here, just to kind of see what you need to do for yourself, and it looks like that you need to root yourself here. So, um, meditate a little bit and try to focus on your root chakra. Focus the energy coming through the crown, going straight down to the bottom, and with this root chakra here, this will allow you to keep strong with your beliefs. This will actually help you keep strong with your confidence, because I think this kind of challenged your confidence a little bit too. Like maybe it actually kind of made you second guess a lot of things, like at home, at work, um, with other things in your life. And we don't want that for you, right? So you just want to make sure that you keep strong with your belief and confidence and stuff like that. I believe, I mean, I don't see like who's right, who's wrong. It's just more like what I get from you is, God, can you just please just deal with this with me so, we can try to get over this and just be happy or something, like please just do it. And he's sort of like, nah, I'm cool. Um, I think I'm just gonna like chill on my own for now. And that kind of like, it's kind of like a kid approach if you kind of think about it. It's kind of it's almost as if it's like he's kind of touching his adolescence and saying like, "No, mom, I want to play video games instead of clean up my room," kind of thing, right? And you're like, "No, clean up your room." So that's what I'm getting from this. All right. So thank you everybody for joining. I see a lot of people joining here. So Ricky, I hope that vibed with you pretty well. Next, I have Kat and Emily. Let me scroll up here. Let's see here. Oh, Hippie. Yeah, I did say hi to you. I just want to make sure I got you into the list. Um, Shada. Muppet. All right. And look, there's Hi. Hi, Taro. All right. So next up, I have Cat. So Cat, why don't you give me your sign and let me know your question. Oh, thank you so much, Hippie, for doing that for me. You know, and since you've been such a sweetheart for me all this time, I'm gonna make you a mod as well. It's so super cool to me. And you're dealing with an Aries, right? I remember you talking about that before. Virgo, um, and your Aries. So, what can I do for your question? I really need to mix these up here real quick. For some reason, the cards are telling me I need to do a really good mix up on this one here. Okay, Kat, let me know what's going on with you. What's your question? I want to know what kind of connection is this. I've been trying to bring him over to the United States. So this is the same person you asked about, I think, yesterday. Like you had a connection with somebody who's across, and you said you had a very magnetic type connection. Um, well, and here's the thing. I believe I told you yesterday that the connection is actually pretty good. You actually had a couple of really good signs. Um, you had a couple of love signs. You had the Lovers and the Two of Cups, both upright. Um, so I'm not exactly sure what you are. You know, like I told you yesterday, you guys had a really good connection, and I don't know what more I can actually tell you right now. Because if I pull some cards right now, all it's going to do is that if you keep thinking that, oh, well, if I heard yesterday that we have good connections, stuff like that, and you keep asking, the card's going to start playing. You know, it's going to start spitting out some gibberish. It's not going to really actually answer your question. And if you keep asking for the same question over and over, especially if you go to the next tarot person, you're going to get conflicting information. So you need to kind of follow your intuition along with, you know, if you're going to go to multiple people, maybe two tarot readers at max if you really want to like kind of do a follow up and stuff like that. But if you start going to multiple people, that's going to start causing a problem. The energies are not going to work within you in your favor in terms of answering those questions. So, um, so maybe if you want to refocus your question onto something else, instead of asking me what the connection is, what is it that you're really truly seeking? What is it that you want to know more about with this person? Because yesterday I did define that you two have a really good connection, um, that you both can complement each other. It's just that you need to not smother him, um, you know, by coming across as, oh, um, what I say is like you didn't want to smother him by saying, "Oh, I really miss you. You know, I really want us to be together," and stuff like that. That's kind of smothering him a lot. And in this time, he doesn't really need that kind of thing. What he really needs is um, like just to know more about you as a person, making plans for the future and stuff like that. It's really going to happen this time because he's upset with me also because we separated. Um, Wait, that's a little bit conflicting here. We've been having a lot of obstacles to bring him to the United States. Oh, you're asking me, is it if it's going to really happen? Is that what your question is? If it's really going to happen? I mean, regardless of if you're having uh, arguments and stuff like that, you still have a really strong connection with each other. It's just the thing is that what you need to do is just do a little bit more planning, and less focusing in terms of like, oh God, I just really want to be with you and stuff like that. Because that's kind of what I'm getting from this is that what you need to do is just be more, you know, uh, have a mindset that you're actually already there and have a mindset be like, oh, okay, I think it'd be really cool if we actually did this, or kind of gauge each other's interests. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna ask the cards here and the universe. Do another shuffle here, and I'm gonna see in terms of your plans of trying to bring him to the states and stuff like that. Although it's kind of hard right now because a lot of the borders are kind of closed, and even if once we kind of reopen the borders and stuff like that, um, it's still going to be kind of a long time after the point where he'll actually be able to kind of come over from where he's at into the states. So let's see here. So the first card I got here, at least on the bottom deck, as I'm trying to shovel this, and this is what I cut it with. I got the Chariot. So what you're doing right now, I think, is probably like as far as like bringing him to the states. I believe he will actually come over. Um, I do sense motion in this direction. If I was to cut this again, and I'd see here Six of Wands. So I'm getting again here that you both are going to get what you want. Let's see here. It's going to be kind of an uphill battle. You have a lot of talking to do with him because it's not going to be all bells and whistles and bees and honey once it comes over. So there is going to be some talk they need to do. Again, I still feel the strong connection between the two of you. At least you have that to at least start the negotiations in terms of rekindling whatever you feel you guys are separated on. But uh, if you really want to uh, mend this, so to speak. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm doing right now. So if you really want to mend this right now, then what you need to do is you need to not close yourself to his ideas. Because I'm seeing some things here in terms of maybe some disagreement with his ideas, and you kind of want to go with more with what you want to do, and um, and I believe that's where we have the disconnect, and maybe that's kind of what led to the separation to begin with. And if you really want, if you really feel that you want to work with him and look at this already, you need to first of all stop with the bullshit kind of thing, right? When I say that, just kind of like find a way how you guys can just bury the issue and actually kind of step through together to where you can find some type of common goal. And I think that's what you guys are missing here is what is the common goal between you two of you? Um, because we're picking straws in terms of what we want in the relationship, but we're not really focusing in terms of what can actually help the relationship together. So and I think both of you can maybe do some things separately in a way to where it will actually bring both of you together. So what I mean by that is what I'm feeling right now is like both of you have your own friends. You guys go do certain things throughout the day, then come back together, and then it's almost like you're kind of straightening the bond, so to speak. Okay, and once you start doing that, look at this. Already, you'll again strengthen the bond. If you kind of like give each other space and then come back together, you both are gonna feel a deeper connection after that. Okay, so that's kind of what my feelings are saying here. If you're talking about the fact that you are you're separated, he got upset with you. Try to be a little bit more open minded to what he wants to do. They're actually not that bad. Um, and also, like I said, don't smother him. I've said that before. And you also, as far as like him coming to the states, I do feel that he will come to the states. It's not going to be fancy right from the get go. It's not going to be perfect, but you both will get what you want once he comes over, and you guys will be able to actually spend some time. I think actually. So, and look at that. And then once you do kind of like retain this process, both of you are going to step through. Like already, we had the two of wands right here talking about that you need to step through with him. And once you actually come together with a common goal for this relationship and you're able to kind of build this trust, build uh, um, this relationship where you both are kind of like kind of do your own thing, they come back together. When I talk about do your own thing, like hang out with your friends, go do your work and stuff like that, come back together, you both are going to start respecting each other, have and being able to actually fully step through that relationship portal. So I think that's what's going to happen for you. Okay, and what you want to do is for your chakra affirmation, focus on your crown chakra. Okay, so like I was just talking to you about, which is changing your perspective on things. It's also good to meditate on your crown chakra as well. This will help you with some of your thought process, your confidence, and things like that. So definitely focus on that kind of energy. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna move on to the next person here. So I hope, Kat, that resonated with you. I hope that's helpful. All right. So let's go ahead and cleanse this cards for the next read here. All right. Emily, I have you next. And while you're getting your question and your sign ready, I'm gonna get some water. All right. I would like a general reading on what is coming towards me. I am here. I'm a Leo. All right. That's kind of. I feel like there's like a cheer at the very end. It's like, I'm Emily. Was it? I'm Emily. I'm here. I'm Leo. All right. All right. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. All right. Okay, give this a good shuffle here. Actually, I'm gonna let this card regenerate here. I'm gonna do my Rider Waite. Woohoo! Good spirits. We all need good spirits. And look at this. I just cut the deck and we only got Wheel of Fortune already. You know what? I'm gonna use that as your first card while I shuffle this. Card just fell. What is this one? Hmm. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. Huh? Okay. So So, I don't see anything in terms of romance. Just getting off the bat here, but what I am seeing here is actually some strengthening with you. What and obviously because of this, but looking at this here, I think that you're going to be coming across some challenges, and it's probably also because of due to the COVID. And but however though, um, I feel that there will be some challenges in terms of what you want to do with your home life, especially in your personal life. Um, there might be some financial situations that you're kind of dealing with, and so what you need to do is, or at least what you might be facing, is maybe some challenges in terms of kind of stretching the penny a little bit because I feel that maybe there might be some things coming along where you're kind of forced to kind of dish out some money here and there. Um, Spending on some things that you might have to spend on, and though with you spending on things, you're trying really hard to to make every penny count kind of thing, and that's kind of what I'm getting from this first part here in this reading. And the unfortunate thing, unfortunately, not everything's always going to be good news here. Good news here is that I don't think that you're going to get much help in this. However, though, because the fact that you're not going to get any help, this actually kind of makes you stronger and it makes you a little bit more prepared for what's actually up ahead, I think. Um, I think that this kind of changed your path. Maybe you had some plans that actually just got canceled recently. So maybe like a trip, for example. Maybe you might have had. I'm getting a sense of like a trip or something that you wanted to get that you've been saving up for. But now that with recent events, that kind of changed right now, and you kind of pocketed and put it on the back burner for now. Um, so don't let that discourage you too much. Um, it will actually challenge you emotionally, I think. But I think that you shouldn't let that discourage you. Now, things are going to be slow paced for you, but you are going to meet somebody though, and I think that this is actually something that you've been wanting. You're going to meet somebody that's actually going to help you kind of break out your shell a little bit in terms of, getting mucked up in the house, with all this stuff that's going on. It's actually some positivity, especially in light with your financial situation. This person will actually kind of help distract you. Um, that's 5, 6, 7, yeah, two. So this person is actually going to be kind of going through the same thing. You two are going to actually have a lot to share, and I think you two are going to actually going to help each other, not in terms of finances, but in terms of like kind of rebuilding your energies. Now, let's kind of look a little bit past this because I feel this right here is like very close together. That something's gonna like these two are gonna kind of go happen back to back. So let's get me some more information in terms of what you can expect. I see you getting into maybe some volunteer work. Um, and the volunteer work will actually kind of help you take advantage of the situation, being able to meet new people as well. Um, which is actually a really nice thing for you. And if you actually go down this route, you're going to build up a lot of karma points, and it's really going to kind of make you a lot more confident in terms of who you are, what you're capable of, and it actually gives you kind of a boost of your ego in a bright way. Okay, so I really do see that you're going to be getting into some type of like social or volunteer work sometime soon. You might get invited, and I think that's kind of what might happen here. Um, Now, with all this right here, I believe that what's going to come to you is you're going to have like this newfound of confidence. Uh, with that said, and it's actually kind of funny when looking at this because we have the hangman here and the strength, and then we have the 5 of cups here, and this is telling me that you're actually going to find a new way of how you're handling like your own demons, your own skeletons in the closet and stuff like that, and you'll actually find a new way of bearing them to where you actually move forward. And look at this. Uh, you're gonna have like this overwhelming power. Just don't get overly cocky, but you're gonna be doing really well. Like internally, I think there might have been some things that you might have been dealing with in your heart and within your mind, and I think that this will actually kind of help. Especially with all this is going on right here, this is actually going to turn you into a much stronger person. You're actually going to be finding a little bit about yourself, maybe kind of rediscovering in terms of what you cannot do. And look at this already. We got this Ace of Pentacles here with the Queen of Cups in reverse. So I think what this is saying here to me is funny because we had the King of Cups up right here and the Queen of Cups in reverse. This is actually kind of telling me that you might actually take a very masculine approach in terms of your emotion, which is actually kind of good because I feel that maybe you might have been taken advantage of in certain cases to where maybe kind of, you know, like for example. They say, "Oh, let me $10. I'll pay you back." Oh, sure. You get them the $10. You never hear from them again, kind of thing. So I think that you're gonna find and this probably kind of repeatedly happened to you because you're a very giving person, but now you're the roles are gonna kind of flip for you with all this is happening. You're actually gonna have a very masculine approach to where you'll be able to be a little bit more guarded and be a little more smart about what you're going to do of in terms of giving to people when they ask for your help. You're going to be a lot more smarter. You'll be able to kind of negotiate certain things, and I think you'll actually be able to stand up to them and be like, "Hey, it's time to cash in. Where have you been?" kind of thing. And look at that right here. Yeah, see, um, you'll be actually be able to charge forward with that kind of mentality, which is really really good. Okay, um, just keep in mind that with this new change comes responsibility. Make sure that you don't um, leave any type of loose ends. Um, if you say things with this new attitude, make sure you follow through with it. Otherwise, you're not going to own up to your new found abilities. Okay, so and these newfound abilities will actually open the door for new types of energies to come into you, and you'll actually be able to. It'll actually feel like you'll be able to conquer the world, so to speak. Okay, and what you want to do is you want to work on your third eye chakra. Okay, so um, that third eye chakra is going to be helping you kind of listen to your intuition, to um, kind of hear your spirit guides, especially with everything that's going on right now. And um, yeah, I think you're going to do very well. And I feel that, uh, you know, and whatever this, and I'm actually kind of interested in terms of what's going to happen with um, this volunteer work. I mean, necessarily that has to be like an organization, but it will come. When I say volunteer work, this could be either meaning like you're gonna help somebody, maybe cook their food, or people who need. Maybe you might go into an You might get somehow pulled into an organization to where you'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll totally help hand out blankets or whatever the case may be. Like, I don't know exactly what it is or how you're gonna get into it, but I think what's gonna happen here is that you're gonna get invited somehow. Or somebody's gonna like talk about it. You're gonna get really interested, and they're like, "Oh, you want to join me?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, sure, okay." And then you're like, "Hooray! I'm a Leo. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. All right." Okay, so um, yeah, so that's actually pretty interesting. It's you're gonna have so kind of to recap here, going through the financial issues. Make sure that just take care of your things. It's going to stretch thin. So just kind of be aware about that. Um, you are going to meet some people, kind of the same predicament. It's not necessarily going to get help with the financial part, but at least it's going to help you in terms of like keeping your sanity and stuff like that. And you're also going to get into some type of volunteer work. Which will actually kind of change you as a person and build you a new type of confidence. And with that said, with this newfound confidence, you're going to start handling your business a lot more appropriately with a masculine approach instead of a feminine approach, meaning that you're going to be a little bit more firm in terms of what you believe in. But just make sure you keep caution not to get overly confident to where you're not leaving loose ends, and just keep to your word and keep following through with what you say. Don't just say it all of a sudden you don't follow through because you're just tired of doing it. Otherwise, the energy is going to become stagnant, and then you're going to kind of like fall off the horse a little bit, and kind of lose sight of what you're really working with. Okay, so um, yeah, there we have it. Hooray! I am such a giving person and just love to spread love and awareness. There you go. See, and with you already doing that kind of thing, like this is gonna like it's gonna hit you on like right away. You're very welcome. And by the way, for everybody who, if you're still here, feel free to email me at tarot@groovedefy.com. It's in the description. Um, 15 days from now, uh, follow up with me, and we can do like a follow up reading, one-on-one stuff like that for free. I don't charge anything, but you are more than welcome to donate. But yeah, just hit me up on the email, tarot@groovedefy.com, and I'd love to hear what you're going for, and if you want to, do like a follow up reading, 15 days in after this, I'll be more than happy to do so. All right. Hippie, what are we doing next? Well, I have you next, Tippy. Do you want to do a reading, or you just want to you just want to chill for a little bit? Thank you.
I'm gonna go see Vivian for a little bit.
Nah. Okay, I got you. anytime you want to do a reading, hippie, I got you. All right. All right. So who's next on my list? I have Passionist. Oh wait. Next is Passion, Shada, and Muppets. All right, Passion. While I cleanse my deck for you, let me know your sign and your question. Pisces. How does Alan feel about the message I sent him? Well, it's gonna be kind of hard for me to figure out what kind of message you sent, but I'll ask the cards to see what did you send. Um, I'm trying to think what the message is, and I'm feeling that maybe the message um, might be about intimacy. It was a very personal message, yeah, and I think, and not necessarily this would reveal to sex, but I really do believe that it has something to do about intimacy. Probably like how you kind of view each other, perhaps. Um, Thank you, Muppet. But yeah, so looking at what you might have been talking about, just to help myself, the viewing of things. Yeah, so this is telling me that how you view each other in a relationship, where are you guys going to be going kind of next? I think that's kind of where it was kind of leading to, because I think right now you're just kind of like poking each other's information to see like, okay, well, how do you view about me? What do you think about me in these cases? And I think that I have a feeling that you probably had more to say to him than he did to say to you. I think he kind of listened more in this conversation. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that. That he actually did more of the listening, and you did more of the talking. All right. Um, with that said, let's answer your question to see how he's doing. And so, if if you're a Pisces, what's his sign? A Libra. Nice. Oh, okay. So water and air. So there's a kind of an interesting mix when it comes to that. I mean, Libras are actually, um, since they're the scales, they're actually one of the most unique pieces in the zodiac because the fact that they're the only inanimate object um, um, in the actual zodiacs, whereas the Pisces obviously is water and the fish. And it's a funny story because the Pisces is actually um, was like a fish that rescued the a goddess and her son from a monster attack, something like that. So, as a Pisces, you're very helpful, and but you're also mutable in terms of how your feelings are. Um, Now, I think that's where the phone call might have come through, which kind of makes sense because the Libra, and that explains why he probably listened a lot more. Because as a Libra, and it's funny you say that he's a Libra. We have here the Six of Pentacles too, which is about balance and stuff like that. And he, I believe, actually tries to be very fair in the conversation, but he's also like absorbing a lot of this information in terms of what is to make with this newfound knowledge in terms of how you feel about him, and also what he thinks about you. Because I think he also kind of maybe opened up his shell a little bit and actually kind of let you know how he feels. And I feel in this situation, he is actually starting to open up. I think he might have been just a little bit closed before, but now he might have been opening up just a bit more and probably a little bit uh, too close for comfort kind of thing, so to speak. That's kind of the kind of the small gist I might be getting from this. He might be have been a little bit stubborn though in terms of what you talked to him about, and he might have kind of lashed a couple times. Not really lashed, but maybe got a little sarcastic perhaps with a couple comments that you have made. But I'm not seeing too much negativity here in terms of what he feels. What I sense from here is that he is really just kind of like balancing, like, so like I'm seeing that all this right here is about the things that he heard about you and what he thought about you, and he's kind of making sense of it all. I'm not getting I'm not getting too much in terms of sadness or uh ideas of like, oh well, this is how she really feels about me, then maybe we should break off kind of thing, or maybe I'm distance myself anymore. That's not actually what I see. I actually see this actually he's taking this very positively, as a matter of fact. At least that's what my feelings are telling me. um he might have been a little bit stubborn and might have not liked a couple of things that you said to him, but he's actually taking this with a grain of salt. Now we have here the 8 and the 6, that's even, so there's no blockage there. I think soon you two are going to come together and you are going to start um figuring out what exactly you want from the relationship instead of from each other. And I think that's kind of what um the imbalance, I say imbalance, although it's not really, but I just want to call it imbalance for now because it's almost as if that there's something that's kind of a puzzle missing in the piece. And after this talk, I think that the both of you are going to kind of come together, and you might have some disagreements and stuff like that. But the good part is that um, after disagreements comes make-up sex. I'm just kidding, sort of actually, but it's true. Like sometimes when people kind of have a small little disagreements, you have like that passionate make-up sex and stuff like that, and all of a sudden it turns out to be like the best sex in the world. You're like, oh yes. But with that said, though, um, I think you two are gonna get along just fine. As a matter of fact, it's just that what the true question of what you're actually looking for is not what you're looking for in each other, but more like what would you like the relationship, because it's almost what I feel here is actually kind of strange. I feel that the relationship is almost like a third entity between you two, and when I say that, it's almost as if like this is like a child that you kind of produced together, and it's the relationship that you both produced for each other. And um so with that said, the energies that you're putting into the relationship is what you want it to manifest for you. Do you want it to manifest money? Do you want to manifest more pleasure? Do you want to manifest more like travel or romance and stuff like that? And that's kind of what you want to look for of what you two put into the relationship and what the relationship is then going to make you feel. Because I think that this what's going to happen here is that it's going to act like a blanket, and you two are actually gonna feel almost like a little child, and so to speak. It's gonna be more tangible than it is gonna be more thought process, which I think is actually really good. The fact that it's gonna be tangible, I think, is gonna be more physical romance. I think it's also gonna tie into more like maybe some adventures for the both of you, and maybe even like kind of like smothering each other with gifts, kind of thing. So just be aware though, because and this actually kind of does happen with Libras, that they do tend to be by themselves and they start to think about things. Pay attention to the signs on a Libra, and this goes for all of you here. When a Libra starts thinking, it's because what they're doing is they're doing a what is called a logic tree, right? Or a logic gateway, however you want to say it, but it's like a logic tree, such as this. Um, user this is sort of how logic tree works in programming. User types in a username and password. If password is correct, then go down this path and then give these options. If password is correct, then go down this option. Now that the password's logged in, what are the available options? And that's what the Libra does. So if you notice that he's been kind of quiet and kind of maybe just not distancing, just maybe kind of like on his own a little bit, maybe watching TV or just fiddling on his phone, you know, just kind of jump in there, kind of shake things up, uh, give him some physical comfort and stuff like that to distract him and make him feel that you two, that you care for him right now. I feel that right now you're kind of a little bit distant at the moment. That's why you guys came together and talk. But if you notice that he's coming kind of quiet, just what you want to do instead of going to him and saying, "Hey, I want to know what you're thinking," because he's going to actually kind of find that not offensive, but more like maybe he might get defensive. But what you want to do instead is be like, "Hey, are you hungry? Do you want to go get something to eat? I think this is a really great movie. Want to go watch this movie or something like that? Like stuff like that. That's a good way of like distracting the issues, and probably one of the reasons why he's been actually kind of distant because he's got stuck in this logic tree in terms of, okay, well, this is what I want to do, this is what she wants to do, and he's trying to make total logic out of it, and that's not going to work in this case. And that can logic does work in some cases, but not in this one, and that actually happens to be the issues with Libra. One of their faults is that yeah, they're very fair. They will definitely try to do things the right way, but then sometimes what they think is the right way is not necessarily the correct way because they're overly thinking it. Okay, so I'm gonna pull two chakra stones for the both of you. One for you first. Okay, so we have here the third eye chakra. So remember I told you about keeping an eye on your the signs and stuff like that. So use your intuition, unblock your third eye chakra, get some energy flowing in there, dust it off. Okay, get yourself a smothering feather, you know, some incense, and just kind of say a prayer to yourself and dust out that chakra. Right, get it working again. I need to do it myself too. And for him, I'll leave this actually here because I think the both of you could work on two different chakras here. And for him, he needs to get rooted, um, which is actually a good point because I'm talking about the fact that he's all up in his head with all these different routes and stuff like that. You need to bring him down to earth, girl, down to earth. And if that means to sex his bones up, that way he's like, okay, I'm totally down to earth now. Then do it. but um, but yeah, pay attention to the signs. Okay, that's all you need to do. Um, and I think it'll be okay from that point. Ooh, I wanna sex you up all night. Hey, beautiful lady, let me turn down the lights. You're very, very welcome. And that was advice on top of what he feels. And I think right now he's just really kind of like just process at the moment. Okay, next we have Shada. Ooh, girl, we got that question already here. So let me go ahead and switch decks here. and cleanse and start up a new incense, and we'll get to your question. And again, Passion, feel free to put a calendar reminder for yourself 15 days out. Send me an email to tarot@grootify.com and excuse me, follow up with me. Let me know how things are going, or if you need some more advice, or you need to kind of get a further reading on something on this particular issue. Hit me up on email. All right. Have you ever? I don't know if you've heard of Jefferson Starship, Shada. They're actually a really good group, and they have this song called Sarah. Sarah, Sarah, storm is brewing in your eyes, your eyes. Shada, Shada, no love is a. Oh no, no time is a good time for goodbye. Oh Shada, that's a good song. They even came up with that "Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now," which is also another great song by Jefferson Starship. All right, so Shada, this is corny, but I'd like to know who. See, you're telling me this is corny, and here I am talking about Jefferson Starship and all this other stuff. I'm corny too, so corny come together. Um, this is corny, but I'd like to know who's coming towards me in romantic love sex. I'm not in contact with those past people who I want to be with in this way, and the people who are pursuing me that I'm aware of don't seriously interest me as it's on dating apps. I'm a Scorpio. That makes sense right there already, so thank you for this. I appreciate you. Um, you know what? I'm gonna put these cards here, and I'm gonna bust out my Oracle deck on this one. We'll see what kind of romance we got going on for you here. This is actually a really cool deck. I kind of use this when it comes to like romance questions more, and I'll pull a few cards for you in terms of what you can do in order to attract more romance for yourself. Speaking of which, while I'm doing this and getting these cards ready, I'll play you a little sample of what that song sounds like. Although YouTube, I don't want YouTube to block me, but this is what it's going to sound like. Jefferson, Starship, Sarah, karaoke. Yes, we're going to do karaoke music here. I can't promise you if I'm going to sing or not, but God, I love this song. Such a great group. This is back in 1986, I think. Don't look back, we've been drawn the line. Move on. It's no good to come back in time. I'll never find another girl like you. For happy ending, it takes two. We're fire and ice. The dream won't come true. Say, oh, there it is. Shada, storms are brewing in your eyes. I'm out of tune here. Shada, no time is a good time for goodbye. Okay, that's enough of that. All right. I love that groove is a part of not only your username but your vocabulary. Yeah, it's like I've had this name for quite a while, for maybe good 13, 14 years, and before that, I used to say the word groovy a lot. So it's a really good song. You should totally take a look at it. All right, so let's see what's going on with you. Well, wow, I actually have a Scorpio right here, as a matter of fact, here at the bottom. So, um, this is kind of mirroring exactly what you just said. You're kind of like seeing like these different types of people. I have a water sign, an air sign, and a sun sign. However, though, I got two fire signs here. Um, I have a feeling that you might be meeting somebody who is a fire sign, which is actually kind of good for you. Because fire and water brought together, how I always say this, is that you kind of create steam for each other, right? And that becomes a kind of a steamy relationship. So I think that you're going to be meeting somebody in terms of, someone who's going to have major confidence because you as a Scorpio, um, you know, you have a tough shell and you're very protective. And with you, and this is the common phrase, though you are nice, you're also deadly with your small fine pointer, right? So and it's good the fact that you are taking change and you're trying to uh, go into a new direction instead of going back on old flames and stuff like that. It's actually kind of good that you get a new perspective with new people and stuff like that to see how they feel about the world and so forth. Um, what you need to do is you need to make sure that you yeah, see, and I think some changes that can come to you here. We have the Pluto card here, which is very closely related to like the Death card, but this is what's telling me here that you're going to be going through some changes. You're probably going to maybe change the way how you kind of view things, or what you need to do. Actually, let me rephrase that. What you need to do is kind of change the view of the world around you. You have your own personality. I think it's time to create new habits, and this is what's going to attract um, uh, newfound relationship for you. Okay. Um, don't get too tangled up in into other people's business. I feel that you have a sense of like when you do meet somebody, they tell you something very interesting. You're like totally into it. You're like, oh my god, I could totally help you with that. Don't do that, please. Um, they need to kind of circle their world around you just a little bit. It's your turn to actually be the person to get the attention because I think you are the person that actually kind of brings the attention to other people, and it's your turn to get that. Pluto is my dominant planet. I have a hard time rebirthing myself. Yeah, I'm working on it. Yeah, see, and like I said, the Pluto is very closely related to the Death card when it comes to tarot and stuff like that, and they are all about rebirth. But then with it changed around, it's not more about rebirth. It's just more about just kind of changing your perspective. Maybe even changing like the way how uh, like I said, how you view things around you in life. Don't take things too seriously. Kind of treat it as a small little joke, so to speak. Now, um, yeah, and make sure that you don't revolve your world around them because what the moon is all about. The moon offers obviously like the love or like the emotional side of things because the moon revolves around the planet Earth, right? And so, yeah, you definitely need to be courted. You need to, like, let them come to you and, take you out to dinner and stuff like that. Um, you know, go parking. And see, I already said, like, change your perspective on things. We have the air card right here. So make sure that when you add these new characteristics like, to your personality, follow through with them, believe them. Don't just do it because it's going to attract other people. Because otherwise, when you do it, it attracts somebody else, and then you all of a sudden you're going to be like, "Oh yeah, this is the real me, not this, right?" And you don't want to do that. So, um, with that said, make sure that when you do add some new key points um, to your personality, follow through with them, believe them, sow them into your life. Okay, so let's pull some tarot cards here. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, like this moon card is really really neat. I actually kind of refer this moon card very very closely to the Libra, because when it comes to Libra, and let me see if I can find the Libra card here real quick. It's actually a really neat looking card. Um, Here it is. They're very, very, very similar on how the artwork actually works with this. They're balanced. There's always one side to the other and stuff like that, and that's kind of, and I always used to refer this one as like very closely related to the Libra, but the moon also has its own characteristics where it revolves around the Earth, and it it makes itself the thing that it doesn't make itself. It makes the Earth the focus of this person's attention. But in your case, you don't want to do that because yours is actually in reverse. And I think you've been actually bringing attention to other people. It's now time to kind of be the recipient here. Look at this. I just cut the deck. Look what I just got. The moon. And with that said, I'm gonna leave this card here. I'm gonna cut it because what I usually do when I shuffle the deck, what I do is I'll check the cards to see if they're ready, right? And I'll see what kind of cards are here. But this is a sign that these cards are ready to be dealt with here. So yeah, I'm seeing here again, um, changing your perspective on things. Um, don't be afraid to actually kind of test some new things and stuff like that. I know old habits die hard, um, but it doesn't mean you have to get rid of those old habits. But just be careful of what you adventure out and what you seek, because if you go too far out, you actually might like something that other people may not like, and you'll start attracting the wrong people as well. So what I mean by that is like sort of like, this is a terrible analogy, but so I don't know if you ever watched South Park, but there's an episode where they overused the internet and the internet broke down, and so Randy Marsh, what he starts doing is that he's searching for internet access for the nastiest porn out there, because he said he can't go back to Playboys because now that he got exposed to the internet, now he watches tranny and bestiality and fart fetish videos and stuff like that because he got exposed to the internet. So don't be like Randy Marsh, where you're going to start exploring too far out there, where you kind of get into like the deep end of things, and next thing you know, you're going to be attracting the wrong people into your life. So, but you can do some exploration, right? That's kind of what I feel with this right here, and I feel that you can actually get very compatible when it comes to actually learning new traits and stuff like that, which is really good. Now, let's see here. We have an ace and we have a five. And yeah, there's nothing more I can really say about that. Except for the fact that you know, don't just follow your own your own personality. Add some new traits to it, but make sure you don't follow too far deep into it. And if I was to pull a chakra stone for you right now, look at that, the heart stone. Okay, so you want to the taboo. Taboo is cool, and it's okay to get a little bad girl in yourself and stuff like that. It's always good to have a little bit of mischievousness in your relationship, but not too much though, to where it's gonna get nasty. But we have the heart chakra here, so you want to go ahead and you want to meditate on your heart chakra. Open it up, and this will actually start inviting new energies, especially with this path that you're getting into right now. Okay. So, with that said, again, just like everybody else, please feel free to email me, tarot@groovedefy.com. Um, like 15 days from now, set a calendar and just kind of remind me, hey, we had this conversation. This is what we talked about. Copy this URL and then, copy the timestamp 1 hour, 17 minutes in. Wow, I've been on for hours, 17 minutes. And just be like, hey, just want to get a follow up. This is what I've done, or you want to kind of like do like a 15-day in tarot reading. I'll be totally on for doing that. All right. Awesome. Wow, you actually gave me the opportunity to use my zodiac oracle. Oh, you're very welcome. That makes me excited. I'm so happy. And don't forget, also, you might be meeting a fire sign too, okay? Which is actually kind of good because it'll actually kind of bring on that steaminess. You just said you like taboo, so, oh yeah, I keep my readings up. I don't take them down. But if you like taboo, a fire sign will do you just good. All right, let me cleanse this, and we'll get on to their next querent. All right. And we have Muppet. And you are a Gemini. My little water sign. I feel like there are some blockages keeping me from progressing financially. How can I break through this so I can live abundantly? Blessings! Alright, let's cut the deck here and see if we're ready to take this off. At least we're shuffling. While I'm doing this, just kind of, focus on your question. If you have an incense, burn some incense. If you have a sandwich, eat your sandwich. If you're sitting naked, then sit loud and proud. Birthday suit. I'm sitting in my birthday suit. All right. Ooh, interesting. I'm still gonna shuffle this, but that's a really interesting one. Actually, I'm gonna stick it to this one because we're talking about blockages, and this one's definitely something good about blockage. Um, let's see here. Right now I'm a Muppet. I think we have one other person, which is Salatern. So I might stop with Salatern for the time being, just to give myself a break. And I might come back on like later tonight. And if you need to hop off, all good. I'll see you later on. But I guess maybe another 20 minutes, or maybe close to another, yeah, 20 minutes or so, at least until I'm done with Salatern. Hmm. I'm getting the sense here that at the beginning of this year, have you been doing any type of like spending? Oh, thank you, hippie. Um, has there been anything in terms of like some high expenses that you've kind of gone through at the beginning of the year? Um, um, I feel that the meat might have maybe splurged just a little bit this year. And then now with these things kind of happening, or at least when we have, starting from the beginning of the year when you splurge and you kind of come up to this point, you kind of got a little bit more aware about your financial status and things, what's going on. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, because not only do I see some splurging, but I also see here that you might not have been uh I wouldn't say truthful. Let's see here. My husband is out of work for over a year, and every time I get extra money, we get a bill out of nowhere. Can't seem to get ahead. So that kind of maybe kind of goes in line with terms of like maybe the splurging part, because the reason why I say splurging, because I felt that there was some type of money hemorrhage somewhere. And usually, I kind of tie that to maybe someone's spending money in a frivolous way, to where like, oh, you lost your job, let's go to Vegas. Like, no, that's not going to work. um, I think that the issue here that I'm seeing. Have you been looking? I recently asked for a raise at work and felt like I was on track to hit it before COVID-19 hit. Recently, I had to fire my whole team and worry that I'm next. Oh, jeez. Um, and see, actually, I was just about to ask you this, as a matter of fact. Um, I was going to ask you if you have you tried reaching out for help? And you just said talk about getting a raise. But I was about to ask if this could probably be part of the raise. But have you tried asking for like, or looking for help in terms of where maybe your husband might step in and say, no, don't ask people for help. We got this. Okay, we can do it on our own. And he might be a little bit. Even though he's worried about the finances, but he might also be a little bit on the ego side, to where he's like, no, don't ask for people, because he doesn't want people to think that we're so much in trouble. Kind of like that kind of mentality. Is he the type of person that where he just kind of wants to be like, the provider in a way, or not provider, but wants to make it look like, hey, we're actually doing really well, but you really are not, kind of thing. That's kind of going to get from here. That what might be happening here, that you might have wanted to go, seek help from either family or friends, or maybe even a creditor of some sort. But um, not creditor, but just like seeking help from something, and he's like, no, we don't need that kind of help. He doesn't want. me to help find him a job. I will send him opportunities, but it seems to frustrate him. See, that's the part I think that's what I'm getting at. Like you're looking for the help. I'm talking about like you're looking for the help, but then like the help is that you're providing the help to him to find a job, and he needs to stop that. That's why we have the death card here. He needs to knock that shit off. I'm sorry to say it like that. It's very annoying that if a man in the relationship thinks that he's less of a man just because he's getting help from a woman, and that's not the case. And he may not even be that kind of mentality, but um, he really wants to try to make it on his own. I feel that now that we think about this card actually might be a little bit about him, but uh, because we have here the five of pentacles, and this is exactly what you just talked about right now about suffering in the storm, but even though the church is right next to them, they choose not to go inside and get help, and the sign is right there in front of them. Oh, okay. Yeah. So Gemini, um the thing about Geminis, they're very mutable, and they're also there's one that's very dependent over the other, but then it's like in the two brothers of the Gemini, you're the person who's willing to sacrifice, while he on the other hand has already passed away in the between the relationship of the Gemini. I'm not sure if exactly sure how the Gemini story works, but the Geminis are the two brothers, and with the Gemini, let's see here, with the Gemini, um, one was like immortal, one was immortal, and one of the brothers passed away during a fight of some sort. I forgot how he passed away, but he actually ended up, going to Hades, because that's where everybody was going at the time. And then he asked his father Zeus to save him, and Zeus said, "No, I'm not going to do that." And because the brother, the immortal one that still survived, he can't live without his brother, so he's willing to make the sacrifice to give up his immortality to save the brother, which is what he did. And he ended up sharing his immortality with his brother. But in this case, right here, um, it's a very good point that I could be picking up his energy, because I think this is what needs to stop is him. Like if he's been out of work for a year, I'm kind of curious as to why it continued for over a year. I feel that it has something to do with maybe old values of some sort, and I say that because we have the Six of Cups here, um, and the Nine of Pentacles in comparison with the Hangman and the Pentacles. He's not willing to change his mind about terms of how he finds work, um, and he's not. And yeah, we have here the Page of Cups in reverse. Like he's not caring to listen either. Like he wants to kind of do things on his own. But if you really want to get this blockage out, if I was to look on the initial question, what you need to do is first, I think you need to sacrifice some bills, get rid of some things like that, and it'll actually kind of change perspectives of him, as a matter of fact, and keep going back to him. Um, we got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse here, so it's not going to be an easy battle here. I think you're still going to continue the issues, unfortunately. Um, and it's funny, all these reversals are coming up, and what I'm doing is I'm rotating the card like this. I'll pick the card out like this, and I'll get a reversal, but now it's actually upright. So, um, yeah, you're definitely going to still go through some frustrations. This uphill battle with your finances is not going to end anytime soon. He needs to change his mind in terms of of helping out, and I think that's probably what the blockage is, because you're probably more focused to him about trying to find a job, and then focusing on what's going on with you. You have um and you talked about like how you just fired a whole bunch of people and stuff like that, and um, this is kind of like bringing on in some negative energy as well. You need to think about intention. Okay. You know, the word I'm coming up, I want to come up here to make this a little bit easier and trying to kind of focus away from the husband first, and I'll get back to him in just a second. But what I need you to focus on is more like uh the laws of attraction. That's exactly what I wanted to say. The laws of attraction is like, yeah, you definitely want to be financially free, but you need to believe that you're also financially free, not by faking it to people like, oh yeah, we're totally doing fine. It's just about like having the belief that I am financially free, you know, and think of the fortunate things that are going on here. Think of the fact that first of all, you have a roof over your head. You know, you still have, you know, food, things like that. Things are tight, but try to you know, think of it. It's almost as if like you're the Five of Cups. You're seeing the. I'm very curious if that's gonna come up. No, but let me see if I can find the Five of Cups here because that's actually very closely related to what you're going through here. Um, Five of Cups. Where are you? Because this is exactly what you're going through. And this is not coming up because you know, I'm about to talk about it, but you have everything else that's happening here. But this is the Five of Cups, focusing more on the issue than seeing the fact that you have two perfectly filled cups standing behind him, while you have three other cups spilled. And this is the other way of saying crying over spilled milk, right? So what you need to do is you need to reverse the energies that you're attracting in that, you know, the issues with your husband, the issues with your job, the bills that you're coming through. Just kind of deal with them. Find a way to where you get stabilized, and you may be living paycheck by paycheck, and that's kind of what I'm feeling right now too. There might be no savings and stuff like that. Um, just make a few more sacrifices for one thing, and that's going to make him see like, okay, we're making even more sacrifices. We need to I need to, you know, get on the ball of things, right? But focus on some of the positive things, and that's going to make you happier. Okay. um, because that's what's going to attract, the universe is going to bring to you the financial freedom that you're looking for. Okay, and it's really difficult. It takes time and takes a lot of patience, and that's why I said it's going to take a lot of time for this to occur. um, let's see here. He was hospitalized in 2018 and doesn't want to go back to being a manager. I'm okay with him following his dream, but he's not moving forward with anything at all. It seems stagnant. Yeah. So I love him, but I am tired of living like this. I want to be financially free, and I know the exact feeling. You know, I've been in that same boat as you are. So um, try, you know, if you go on with these additional sacrifices, it's actually going to kind of raise a red flag to him. It's like, why do we have to do this? Why do we have to get rid of this? We need this. Like, and you come to him and say like, well, you know, I'm only making so much money right now, so until we get extra money, then we can get back to this. And that's what's going to make him go like, okay, I need to fucking do something, right? So it's almost like kind of like reverse psychology, and I'm actually kind of like not, you know, using the cards to say that. It's just kind of like, you know, trying to change the perspective here. What's something that's gonna kind of pinch him a little bit to where he's gonna start moving, right? So be clever about that. Um, let's see here. Let's pull a chakra affirmation here for you, because I think exactly what you need to do is just, again, changing. And look at this. You need to have your confidence, because right now your confidence is really low. Solar plexus. Focus on your solar plexus chakra. Um, Brush it off with some, you know, incense, and this will actually kind of help you start with that law of attraction to where you can attract a better positive energy and outlook to your financial issue. We're all, and right now, especially now, it's going to be very hard because everybody in the world right now needs to have this financial um, stability, and everybody's, you know, going to, you know, finding ways how they can get this money through unemployment and all this other stuff, finding new jobs. So um, just be prepared. It's going to be a little bit uphill battle. The universe has plenty to offer in terms of energy in order to make this work again. But for you, change your perspective. Be confident the fact that you know what we may be going through some issues. Actually, here's an excellent, excellent example for you because this is exactly what I'm going through right now. I have a pretty decent career. I'm still employed, you know, and I take home a good, decent amount of money and enough for me to live, right? And however, though, on top of that, not only paying mortgage, paying phone bill, internet, um, electricity, water, insurance, and then on top of that, honestly, and this may sound bad, but I have an IRS bill that I need to pay for. I have the franchise tax board for for the California state bill that I need to pay for, and I have other debts that I was irresponsible a lot when I was younger that I needed to pay for. Now this is taking up a really good chunk of my money, and I'm actually living paycheck by paycheck myself. However, I am focusing on the things that I have. Even though I don't live in the best house ever, I'm actually very comfortable. I'm warm. I'm happy here, and it doesn't take much to make me happy actually. And and I think that's one thing that kind of helps me out. The fact that if I focus on the things that actually does make me happy and keep my confidence up, the laws of attraction will actually bring me the money that I need and the comfort and the stability that I need. Okay, and but having the husband is not helping out. But if you kind of do the psychology that I mentioned earlier, that'll make things easier. I'm gonna put this on pause real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Um, yeah, I a lot of my money is going to the IRS, and I'll be honest with you, because of the life issues and the challenges I've been going through. I had to take money out of my paycheck to where I wasn't paying the IRS. I was holding it for myself, and I actually accrued at least close to 100 grand in an IRS debt. That's how bad I am right now. If that helps you feel any better in your situation. I have an IRS debt of 500 grand. I have another debt with a um, in the franchise tax board for 10 grand. Um, I have um, my stupid credit card bills that I never got to pay off because there were some accidents that happened in with me and my partner to where I was the only person bringing in the money, right? So I know exactly what you're going through. He got into an accident. He couldn't make the money anymore, and um, I was only making money at the time to where um, I was living in an apartment that was costing $3,000, not including utilities, and I was only bringing in $3,000 a month, right? And so there's that, and then there's my student debt, which is pretty high too. But even though these things are probably, they're in control, I'm paying these things off slowly but surely, and I probably won't be debt free for like another 6 years or so. But with the income that I actually am able to save, I look around and I say, things could be worse. I could be living in an not an apartment, but I could be living somewhere like in a shelter somewhere, or things got repossessed. The fact that I'm still staying on top of it, and even though I am living paycheck by paycheck, I feel that the universe provides, and the universe will provide something for when I need something. As long as I have intention of good thoughts, helping others, especially if I don't have the resources to help others, I still try to do it. Um, and that hopefully this can kind of help you make yourself feel a little better. Like, oh wow, I don't have that kind of IRS bill, so sucks to be you, Groovified. I'm just kidding, but um, uh, hopefully this will kind of help shed some light in terms of what I'm talking about visualizing the all the positivity that you have going on. You may have a husband who's not budging and stuff like that, but as a strong worker, you are, and especially this time right now, where things are kind of looking kind of grim. Just keep focusing on the positive for now. And it's gonna be kind of hard, but you need to believe in it, and it needs to genuinely make you happy. And if it makes you genuinely happy, then you're going to actually see the benefits of that. Invite the spirit guides, talk to your spirit guides, have a conversation with them, get into really, really deep, intense meditation to kind of help you out with that. And if I was to pull a second chakra stone here for you, heart chakra. So remember, I was talking about making sure that you believe in it. That's what we you need to do. So believe in yourself. You can make it through. Okay. Just use some of that reverse psychology with your husband, and I think that's what's going to help you out. All right. So I hope that was a really good reading for you. Um, it's kind of hard to share these kind of things, especially out there in the world. It's a little embarrassing, but we all have our problems. We all have our reasons why we get into like these kind of things, and we try to see our way through it. Thanks for the transparency. The fact that you're going through this is still so positive and committed to helping others. Yes, I love doing these kind of things. Like I could probably start turning this into a business. Like, hey, $20 for each reading, stuff like that, but I still make it free. The only thing I don't do for I ask like maybe $5 donation if people want their reads to be done right away. If I have a large queue, that's different, and people will decide to donate, and it's also good too. I mean, it's whatever helps the channel. But I always try to think about this. Like, I want to keep this channel free as much as possible, and I want to try to push for good quality reads and good quality video. I invest a lot of you know time and money into the setup, and to me, it actually pays out to help out people and makes me feel good. All right, well, Muppet, feel free to email me. Again, 15 days in, 2 weeks from now. Let me know how things are going. If you just want to chat or if you want a new tarot read, hit me up in the email. Okay, I love to hear from you. You can also get me on Messenger as well. I'll be more than happy to talk to you through there. Thank you very much, Muppet. It was definitely a pleasure pulling these cards for you. Okay, Saturn. Saturn. I really want to know how M Aries, uh, feel about me currently. Oh, male Aries, gotcha. How male Aries feels about me currently, and if we'll ever be together. We fought, and we are currently not communicating. I'm a Leo, by the way. Fire and ice. Not really ice, but fire and air. Okay, let me cleanse this area real quick for the next read, and we'll get you going. Vision and Temperance. That's actually pretty good. I'll shuffle it one more time and get your card. All right, so how does Mr. Aries feel about Mrs. Leo? Heath! Heath, hello! Um, let's see here. Well, I'm getting some issues of some major unfinished business here. I feel that with him right now, especially you're both falling out right now. Um, I'm getting the sense that I'm getting the sense that he thinks that you're making yourself a victim in this situation that you're in with him. Um, however, though, I think he's blindsided by his own ego, um, and he's not listening either. I feel though that after this fight and this let's see here. I feel that he's kind of moved on just a little bit, but he still has this kind of an ego. He doesn't really I got the King of Swords here, which kind of explains the whole point about you separated. But with him right now, he's kind of slowly moving on. Um, but as far as signs of both of you getting together, I'm not seeing anything of reconciliation. He believes that you play the victim sometimes, um, and um, you believe. Was there some sort of infidelity in between you two? I mean, I could definitely be wrong about this, but correct me if I'm wrong. If there was like some type of infidelity in between you two, like maybe there's some trust issues of some sort. His birthday was yesterday, and I tried to be the grown-up person, and I sent him a text, and he just reacted to it with a heart. That kind of explains the ego a little bit. And excuse my sniffling. I apologize. So I'm getting a sense of insecurity here between the two of you. Uh, yeah, he never trusted me, even though I tried to show him a million times that he can. Yeah, I'm getting a definite sense of insecurity here. That's probably why he thinks of you playing the victim because uh, you know, when you try to explain it to him, you try to put some logic to it, which I know the feeling. But the thing is, he kind of picks wands, not picks wands, but you have the Knight of Wands here. He kind of picks straws, and doesn't really know what to do with you, in terms of these issues of trust with you. And I think that's kind of the main issue here. Um, And I think he feels that he's been very nourishing and very comforting to you, despite the fact of his trust issues. Um, but in the end of this one, I don't see anything coming together in terms of reconciliation, unfortunately, or even uh, coming back together anytime soon, maybe even indefinitely. Because we even have the chariot here, and I that's in reverse. That shows me signs of slowing down in terms of the the relationship. He still has feelings for you, but he yep. And here we got the deceit again. Um, uh, this is what's causing the issue, and it's going to be very hard for him to come back to you on these kind of things. Um, let's see here. What else is he thinking about right now? What is he really thinking about right now? Well, I feel that he might have felt that he won the conversation between the two of you, like during your spat. I feel that he kind of like had the upper hand in the conversation for some reason. Like maybe he had some sort of like story to tell about you in which you said, yeah, that's what I did, but that's not how it was, kind of thing. But um yeah, we're seeing here him being a little bit by himself, and he's not going to change his mind. um I also see him being kind of childish. I told him that I'm over uh what happened, and that the past is the past, though. Yeah, he doesn't believe that either, and that's kind of why he's carrying on. Like he feels that he's kind of above you in this situation. Um, but unfortunately, yeah. I don't see anything really positive happening in the outcome of this right now. Unfortunately to say, I think in your case right now, it's probably best to probably start, uh, healing yourself, figuring out what is it that you know these trust issues you can do about yourself, either if they're true or false. But what is it that you can do to turn your energies around and attract, you know, a new life, maybe even a new man, perhaps. Um, but for this person right here, um, I don't think there's going to be much of a good outcome. Even if you did get together, I think you're going to have a lot more arguments, um, than happiness, unfortunately. And I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news in this, but it's just what I feel, and I think that you should probably try to find a way to close the door a little bit, for yourself. Um, it's good that you reached out to him during his birthday, but with him just kind of reacting with just the heart and stuff like that, that's kind of that's kind of the thing. That's kind of the sign that you need to see that just let him be by himself. I mean, he might even turn around with you giving him the space, and he might actually come around and say something to you, but it's really not in terms of reconciliation, perhaps. Um, it's really just to kind of maybe patch things up, perhaps. Maybe even become a friendship of some sort. But don't put your heart on your sleeve when he does contact you, because I feel he is going to contact you. But don't get too excited about it. It's really nothing to get super excited about, because he's just going to talk to you about some simple things and then try to call it a day. Okay. I'm sorry, Salatern. Bad news is always hard to deliver, but that's kind of what I'm getting from this one. Um, let's get you some couple of chakra stones here to see what you need to focus on. Your your third eye and your confidence, which actually makes sense. Um, work on your third eye and work on your confidence, and especially with your third eye, because it gives you the intuition that you need in order to kind of see yourself in the future, especially in the now, and also to gauge conversations a little bit more. Because I think that maybe the love for you have the love for him might be blinding you just a little bit. So make sure that you clear your third eye and your solar plexus chakras in your next meditation, or at least burn some incense and kind of just focus on those areas to dust it off. Um, and this is going to kind of help you heal. It's not going to be instantaneous, but just kind of give it some time. You can do it. Um, and again, follow up with me, um, tarot@cryptify.com. Send me an email. If you just want to chat, say hi, kind of talk more about this, or even do another 2 weeks from now, you can message me, like whatever you want to. Um, you know, Send me a message, and I'll be more than happy to chat with you on this. Okay? Whew. All right. Well, I did say I was going to stop with Saturn, but Heath, since you just made it, I'd be willing to actually do a reading for you. You're very welcome, Saturn. Yeah, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to give you any good news in terms of this, but the world is not full of good news, unfortunately. Like I know exactly what you're going through with your trust issues, Saturn. Uh, my partner and I have been struggling a lot where he thinks that I've been untrue to him even though I have, but my actions says otherwise to him, and I've lied about certain things, but it's never to a point where I've lied about sleeping with people, stuff like that, because I never slept with anybody, you know. And sometimes when people, they get hurt by these lies, they, you know, they sometimes never let it go. They're not willing to change, even though you've changed for them. So, I know exactly what you're going through when it comes to those kind of things, and it's definitely going to be hurtful. However, I can say is that if I made it, you can make it too. All right. All right. Heath, how can I help you today? And a shout out into the audience. Um, if you haven't seen Hippie post your name, let us know you're here. What is the current energy and possible future with me, Gemini, and Capricorn Man? Thank you so much. Gemini and Capricorn. Water and earth. That's good. Mixed for the two of you. Two of you. Adding that water to the earth makes plants grow. And so does manure. But, we're not into that kind of thing unless you're really into that kind of fetish thing. Wow. That took a left turn immediately. So sorry. Ace of Wands. Well, um, I do see a spark of interest between the two of you. I do feel that there's like something very radiant, very warm about the two of you when you get together. Um, I feel the sense that you guys had like the talk, where you guys managed to talk for hours and just have fun and stuff like that in terms of the talk. Like we talk like that cliche you hear in the movies. We talk for hours and hours and hours on the phone until my phone got to 1% and I put it on the charger. Then I talked for more hours and hours. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I feel that you kind of had that kind of moment with this Capricorn. Um, uh, with Mr. Capricorn here. Now, this is definitely a great opportunity here. I think this actually might be a good start of something. The energies are still very fresh here, but not enough has been done or said between the two of you for this energy to mature. So, right now, I think you're kind of hitting the honeymoon phase of what I'm seeing. Keep doing what you're doing. Um, keep doing what you're doing with the with what you guys are talking about, and make sure that, oh wow, this is actually kind of funny because we have this star here, and usually the star is like touching the water and the earth, kind of keeping her balance and stuff like that. And that's what you want to do. Don't put your heart on your sleeve, which I do tell most people, but in this case, um you know you're doing fine, but keep yourself balanced and also pay attention to the signs. And when I say that, like the signs in terms of what interests he enjoys, because these kind of interests will actually kind of marry what you like to do, and you both will actually be able to, kind of uh, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Participate with each other on those interests, and you'll be able to continue on uh, with this, possible relationship. But again, like I said, I feel that right now it's still too early to tell in terms of what the future is. But what I can tell you for certain is that the energies are very fresh. You're definitely in the honeymoon phase, and if you keep doing what you're doing right here, it's always going to feel like the honeymoon phase, which is actually really cool. Let's see here. It looks like that maybe he got over some heartache, and stuff like that. He actually kind of suffered something pretty bad, but he still held on to his belief, which is actually really interesting. I feel that he's actually kind of a spiritual person. So that kind of makes it even more, I won't say interesting, but a lot more stable for you and him. Um, let's see here. And if you play your cards right, he's gonna make some magic for you. I say that because we have the two of Pentacles, the Balancing, and the Magician. Him being spiritual, and also I think he knows how to kind of push those buttons pretty nicely too. Um, yeah, it did. I can see the how it derail. Just keep, and that's why I say that it's very early, you know, and you're kind of in that honeymoon phase, and I think he's willing to wait. Just keep talking to him here and there, and you can both come together and actually kind of enjoy each other. Just kind of find some things that doesn't require too much social interaction with other people. Um, um, I do see some romance here that will be happening soon for you and him, for the two of you. And yeah, work hard at this, and you'll definitely be rewarded. Um, Now we do have this the Four of Wands here in reverse because that's kind of what you're going for. But just keep at it. Be patient and be very calm. He doesn't like to be smothered. Okay, most men don't. But even for a spiritual man, he doesn't need to be smothered, or nor does he like to be smothered. Where you're like, oh, I totally want to be with you, kind of, like let's get together. And he's like, yeah, can we just like can I just take a rain check, please? So what you really want to do, yeah, exactly, like space. Like I was just talking about, like, about this whole smothering thing. So um, what you want to do, instead of, like, smothering him with feelings and emotions, um, kind of do some things on your own. Take some pictures, or, do something with your friends, and then kind of share that experience with him. And then he'll know that you're a person that you like to have fun, and that you also enjoy your space too and your time with your friends. So it shows that you're a true human being and not just someone who's like, I'm going to lock your ass with my ankle with these bracelets. You're mine forever. Hooray. And he's all like, oh, store credit, please. Can I get some store credit? So, yeah, and let's see here. I don't know why they're coming up reverse, but we'll just leave it up right here. Actually, these cards are not really saying anything to me, so I'm just gonna put these back. Um, but in any case, I think it's a good match for the two of you. Right now, it's gonna go very slow. Nothing is coming through just yet in terms of a relation, of what's happening right now. The Two of Wands, you haven't really crossed that threshold with him yet, but he looks like he's pretty stable with his emotions. So I don't think you have to worry too much about him, and I think something good will actually come both your ways. And your chakra stone for the day is the your throat chakra. So make sure that you uh, focus on your throat chakra, and with that, there, it's more about, like, not just saying, like, oh, speak your mind and stuff like that, but make sure, like, the quality of voice that you put out, like, for example, the things that you want to say, make sure there's quality behind the things that you say that's more inviting than it is like, oh, she's talking kind of thing. It's more like, oh, she's talking, okay, she's actually very interesting, I need to listen to her, instead of them saying, like, she's talking, look at my phone now. So no, I'm just kidding. But anyway, it is about communication, definitely, yes. But what I try to think about is, try to put um, just quality, like empathy, sympathy, some positive emotions behind the things you talk about, and just think before you say things too. You know, it's it's always a good thing to do that too. You always want to think before you say, because you don't need that kind of aggravation, or you don't want to give other people aggravation either. Whew, boy, 2 hours in, and I think I'm gonna take a break for now, but I think I'll come back online later tonight. How's everybody feeling out there? Sure, I'll give you two chakra stones, hippie. I'm doing okay. Been kind of going through some life challenges lately, and it happened to me last night. But right now, I'm kind of pulling through. Sacral and crown chakra. Thank you, hippie. And so you need to focus on your sacral um, um, and your crown chakra. So sacral sexy. I'm just kidding, but it's funny because it's funny that this actually came up because of the COVID-19 thing. So people were posting, like, their videos of how they want to have sex with other people. So there was you know, this woman. I think she was probably, like, in maybe her late 50s, maybe 60s perhaps. I love her to freaking death, but and not actually no butt at all. Actually, I mean, some people posted it because they didn't like the idea, the fact that, an older woman such as this woman who's in her mid 60s perhaps is looking for sex. But the thing is, she's like saying, "I bought new lingerie and I'm sexy." It's like, hell yeah, you're fucking sexy. Like, I'm gay and everything. Too bad I can't have you, but like, I totally applaud the fact that she's willing to put herself out there like that, and she's still keeping it strong, and I think that's freaking fantastic. But yeah, I kind of digressing here because of the sacral stone, but um, oh, thank you so much for your compliments. It really makes me actually made me happy because of my life challenges lately, especially this past month with the retrograde. I hate this month with a passion, but um um you know, I actually haven't had the chance to finish my March um, zodiac readings, and I've been wanting to do that, and I've been wanting to do one for April, but I haven't. It's already April, and I didn't get the chance to work on those either, and I haven't done any tarot readings for the past month, and I know people were kind of like wondering where I was, and so I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. So, um, so yeah, it's been kind of hard, difficult for me. Oh, did you actually do cartwheels? um, yeah, and I even got some new incense. Um, I got rain, which was actually a very interesting one. And there's actually another store that actually sells incense, but unfortunately, the only one that's near me that actually sells incense is Sprouts, which is a little expensive, and then there's Walmart. And here's the thing. Um, uh, Walmart has two, maybe three brands. Two of them is one is where it's like a metal container and it says quality or something like that or premium incense, and the other one is like 99 cents. And don't go for any of those two. This is an excellent brand. It's a better quality incense than the Walmart brands that they have because the one that they have smells like I don't know. It's not even smelling like hand soap, you know. But this one's actually really cool. Rain actually has like this nice smell, you know, that that smell that you smell coming through the window after it rains hard. Like I love that smell. And then I got this one, the flowering cactus, which is actually it's a really interesting one. It actually kind of smells like an air freshener in a way, which is really nice. Um, Sandalwood is also a really nice one too. Um, one of my favorites. But yeah, this is a really great brand. It's $2 in Walmart. They only give you 20 sticks, and the other one's 99 cents for 40 sticks. But you know, quality is better than quantity. And let's see here. There was another brand that I had. Let's see here. I got one here, lavender. This is actually a really nice one too. This is a really beautiful one. And there's another incense type called Nag Champa. I love Nag Champa. Like it has like this amazing um, aroma to it, and it really does open up the third eye. Let's see here. What else do I have? Well, that's a really good, interesting question. I hope not. Now that you brought that up, I have to Google search that. Let's see here. Oh, okay. So I just searched it. Well, it actually went to Bing. So let me see what Google says about this. Might say the same thing. Ooh, maybe. Well, people are kind of pointing out here that they can lead to lung cancer. Wow. This other article I just found here, it says it's not dangerous, but it's not good for those who already have pre-existing issues. Um, Walk into any yoga studio, and chances are high that the place will smell amazing, usually because there's incense burning. Or maybe you use incense at home to set a relaxing mood when it's time to wind down. Whatever the case, most of us have used incense at some point. Many people use it as an alternative synthetic scents, which can really which can be really harmful to your health, but is incense that right alternative when you're opting for a more natural lifestyle? Or in other words, is burning incense bad for you? And let's see here. It causes inflammation in your lungs, just like you might get chest pains and a cough in your if you're in a place with a lot of smoke. Burning incense can irritate your lungs. One study found that just 3 hours of breathing incense smoke caused an inflammatory response in people's lungs, likely due to the fact that incense smoke contains chemicals like carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, and formaldehyde. And since it's a type of air pollution, and their other thing is the smoke could be more dangerous than cigarette smoke. Well, that doesn't make sense. Incense produces more particulate matter than cigarette smoke, increases your risk of cancer. Non-toxic alternatives to incense is essential oils and aromatherapy, and add houseplants to your house. So, um, wow, that is, I didn't know that. Yeah, I've been burning a lot of incense a lot lately, but I also have a window next to me that kind of helps ventilate things. So I think I'll probably be, you know, I'll probably burn it, every few hours or something like that. A couple times a day, perhaps. I love my incense. It's okay. It's actually good. It's actually good. I learned about these things because I have this right here, and you can see how much incense I've actually burned just in this bowl alone, and this is within the last week or so, or last few days, as a matter of fact, or last week, this past week, but um, at least I know how to, probably be more mindful about it, I suppose. Yeah, well, the thing about sage, I found out because people get um let's see, where's my sage stick at? So there's sage, and there's sage, right? This one has a better smell than this one. Okay. Because this one you're actually burning the actual food sage that you use for cooking, right? And this one has a beautiful smell. I love this smell, and I still burn it just because it's nice. But then there's this one right here, which actually has no smell. It actually just smells like burn. Just like burn. I don't even know how to say it. It just smells like burn. But the properties of this one though is the fact that you use this to kind of open and cleanse your house, and so um, you use this one, and then you use Palo Salto, which is this one, and this will actually attract positive energy. Whew. I've tried the sage and cedar, so good. Yeah, I love the cedar one. I actually had cones for that one too. Um, let's see here. Actually, it's in my room. But yeah, cedar is actually really excellent. I had this one called anti-stress cones, which doesn't make sense because they just called it anti-stress, but they didn't say exactly what the ingredients were. But man, did it smell so good. I just wish I knew what it was. I need me some Palo Santos. Yeah, here, you have mine. What? No, I'm just kidding. But actually, Walmart, like they've been picking up their game lately. Like they actually sold some Palo Santo, and it actually is kind of pretty because they actually had it wrapped with flowers and stuff like that. And uh, they gave me two sticks on this one, and I think there was maybe $1 or $2. I can't remember which, but yeah, pretty cool. Okay, well, it's getting close to 7. It's always almost 2.5 hours, so I'm gonna make me some dinner. Probably gonna watch a movie with my mother while we have dinner. Dinner, mother, movie. She's not paying attention. And I'll probably come back. Huh?
I heard mother.
Mother. What section in Walmart? So you'll find it in like the candle section. Um, Usually it's the area where they have a whole bunch of scented candles and oils. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna come on later tonight. It's a Friday night, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't have much to do. So, um, what better way to spend the night than doing some free tarot? Ha ha. So enjoy your evening, and hopefully I'll see you later tonight. Okay, ladies, ciao. Love you both. Oh, check this out too. I got this really cool little book thing, but it's actually not a book. It's a little box. I love it. All right, I just had to share that. All right, talk to you ladies later.